Welcome back. We are continuing our holiday baking series with the chocolate babka wreath we're making. And Kristen Suzuki with King Arthur Baking Company is going to show us how to make the filling today and also the glaze. Let's start with the filling. What goes in that?
Okay, so we have some semi-sweet chocolate here. If you are using we aren't using chocolate chips, and these are little discs, but you can use chocolate bars and chop them up small. You want to have them sort of in these smaller pieces. You can use chocolate chips. We tend to not for this, but you can if that's all you have.
Got it.
So I'm going to go ahead and put that into the bowl. I have a Dutch processed chocolate, or I'm sorry, cocoa, and this is unsweetened, so you don't want to use sweetened cocoa.
No hot chocolate mix in here.
No, that'll make it too sweet. I guess you probably could. It just would be really, really sweet. Because we're adding some sugar in a little bit as well. And then this is just our unsalted butter. That is room temperature. And having room temperature butter is just going to have it melt a little bit faster. I have it cut up in sort of smaller pieces. Just, again, to make it melt faster.
And I'll remind everybody, if you need amounts for this, the chocolate babka wreath recipe is on King Arthur's website, so you can find the exact details on there, and we will link to it on our website. So then this goes where?
So we're going to put this in the microwave. I have this in a microwave safe bowl. You can do it on the stovetop if you want with a double boiler. It's going to take a lot more time. It's much easier in the microwave. You just have to make sure that you don't burn it. So we're going to do it in very short increments of time. So probably 15 to 30 seconds, and then mix. Put it back in 15 to 30 seconds and then mix. Depending on how strong your microwave is, you might have to adjust the time. That's why I say 15 to 30 seconds. What you don't want to start to smell is burnt chocolate.
Nobody likes that.
Yeah, so just keep an eye on it, and you're just gonna keep mixing it in between each time just to kind of redistribute the heat and to help it along and melt faster.
Well, this is a thing of beauty.
Yeah, so our chocolate has completely melted.
Oh, look at that.
And everything's nice and smooth. You don't see any lumps. You shouldn't see any lumps of chocolate, and you also shouldn't see any streaks of butter. So it should look nice and smooth.
And then there's one more step.
Yeah, so the last step is to add our confectioner sugar. And this has been sifted.
Okay.
You want to make sure that it's sifted so you don't have a bunch of lumps in it, because we aren't really working it a lot, so there's not a chance to get all of those lumps out. So I went ahead and sifted this.
Goes in there.
Go ahead and add that in.
Ooh, can I stir it?
Yeah.
I love stirring these.
You should be okay just using a spatula. However, if it is giving you an issue, you can switch to the whisk. And if it seems like it's a little bit lumpy, you can switch to the whisk as well, and that'll help smooth it out. But it's looking pretty good.
And then you just set this aside?
Yeah, it needs to stiffen up a little bit. I think the recipe says about 30 minutes or so. I mean, it's going to depend on how hot this was when you took it out of the microwave. It's going to depend on how hot the room is that you're in. So it could take up to 30 minutes. It could be a little bit quicker, but we just want it to be a spreadable consistency.
Like that?
Yeah. Now we're just going to let that sit and stiffen up a little bit.
And the next part we're making is the glaze for the top. This one looks like it's pretty simple.
Yeah, it's basically just a simple syrup. Excuse me. So it is sugar and water.
Okay.
It's granulated sugar and our water.
And then you just kind of boil that?
Yeah, so we're going to just turn on the heat. I want to make sure that the sugar is completely dissolved, and that's all that we're really trying to do at this point. And I'm not being really aggressive with my mixing. I'm just moving it around. And I have this on a medium heat, and we just let it go until our sugar is completely dissolved, and then we're gonna just let it boil, and that's our glaze.
All right, so we got it to a boil. I can't see any sugar granules left, so that must mean it's done.
Yeah, so we're just gonna let this cool slightly and set it off to the side until you are ready to glaze.
Wonderful.
Stay tuned all week for the completion of our holiday chocolate babka wreath. Frankly, I could just take a spoon to that filling and glaze and eat it all by itself, no bread included, but tomorrow we'll put it all together, and on Friday we'll bake and glaze the final project. You can see that all right here on the Channel 3 News First at 4.